The Charles P. And ladies and gentlemen, one more time, done and done. Last thing I did was, after I got the decals on, I shot the entire model with Vallejo's dull varnish, and we are good to go on that. Got the glass case on, acrylic case, got that attached. One thing I had to do, and I'm going to be honest here, is there's a little mass that's supposed to be on top here. I had to whack it off to get this to fit. Now I could have get these brass rods a little bit smaller, but even if I used the actual pedestals, it still would have been hampering in the way. This just needs to be taller, which I couldn't find one any taller than this. If I did, it was almost custom made. So anyway, I had to do that, but still, it doesn't affect it at all, I don't think. But anyway, got the case on, dulled it down with Vallejo's dull coat. I think we are good to go on that. Greg, I'll have this at the hobby store this Saturday, so you can pick it up at any time at your convenience, and I'll shoot you an email and tell you the date and all that. But anyway, there we have it, the Charles P. So, get this off the workbench and get that to its rightful owner. The Leopard 2. I think last time hopefully I showed it. The camo. I think I did I showed the masking putty on there. So I got the camo brown on. Got the camo black, NATO brown and NATO black on. And what I did is, after I got the NATO brown on with the masking putty, what I did is, you had some overspray, which is no big deal. Now I like to do this differently on NATO 3-tone. If you can see, their little pattern that they got, which is probably somewhat accurate. I like to change it just a tad. I had a little overspray on the around the brown, which what I did is I take the NATO black and I trace it, and do that pattern that way. So it gives you a unique pattern, if you can see it, all over the tank. So got the NATO brown, NATO black on, and I went ahead and paint the tracks. And I don't know if you can actually, might be able to see it. The tracks are AK's dark tracks, which Ammo MiG has the same thing. And excuse me, I couldn't get the Ammo MiG one anymore. It seemed like it was always sold out, but AK had a big bottle of it, so I was like, all right, I use that a lot. So excuse me, got a frog in my throat. But anyway, got the track on, and now I'm ready for washes and some filters. And we're going to do that next. And I want to do some, what's it called? Not pastels, pigment powders. And I'm going to put some pigment powder, especially along the hole, because I don't like a clean tank, and I'm not going to do a real dirty tank. I'm just going to show it where it's been in use. That's the way my style is and everything. Then of course we're going to paint some tarps on here, and paint the little details, paint the gun, and very, very little chipping, but we'll do some weathering on it and get that accomplished as well. But anyway, that's where I am on the Leopard 2. Big Gundam. The only thing I got to do so far is one of his swords, plastic swords, I whacked off the handle and put the laser blade on there, which I got it mostly sanded down. I need to basically dip it in future, get it cleaned up, get it a little bit shiny, and but it does fit. And basically he's going to be hanging from the ceiling, and he'll be in like a little more dynamic pose, because they do fly. And drum a little business on there. I'm debating whether to do the shield, and I may do that. I haven't decided quite how I want to do. I may modify a weapon and do doing where he's holding the gun, something like that. I haven't decided quite yet what I want to do. But anyway, we're working on the Gundam Greyback. So anyway, Up next on him, though, is while I work on the shield or gun or whatever weapon I decide to do, we're going to start doing some panel lines, doing some weathering on him. We're going to dirty him up. So that's where I am on Mr. Gundam. So anyway, that's what I got going on today. We're going to start weathering the Gundam. We're going to start weathering the Leopard 2. And we finished off the USS Charles P. So that's what I got going on today. So stay tuned for the next exciting episode.